Thank you and good afternoon. If Bo eats his bone, don't mind it. Let's go over the Chiefs game first, and we'll start with NFL football Sunday. It looked like oh no for the Chiefs as the Raiders scored 2 unanswered touchdowns. A touchdown on the first drive. But Daniel Carlson would miss a critical field goal in my mind that would have made it 10-0. And then they scored another touchdown to make it 14-0. But if that other field goal, it may have been out of reach. The Chiefs showed finally that they could come back. That it's something they have not shown this year. The Chiefs were able to grab a touchdown by Isaiah Pacheco. It was a long, athletic drive, which were most of the Chiefs' day. The Chiefs were not able to complete long passes, and that's been a problem for them all season. I told the Chiefs to run the ball. They didn't look until the second quarter. You can just call me Coach Vaughn or Sam from Sam Vaughn Sports. Because it would get more balance for Patrick, who threw the ball not as often as he normally does, which would create more balance. Travis Kelce was able to get involved in yesterday's game, scored before the half to make it 14 even. I could tell you when the Chiefs were tied, I thought to myself that they struggled in the second half. Even though they had the momentum the last couple weeks, they weren't able to score in the second half. In fact, it was 3 weeks in a row. Noah Gray had a 13-yard play that helped the Chiefs score a touchdown. Rashid Rice caught one, and his speed helped him get up the field. Raiders would get a field goal. The Chiefs took the lead. The Raiders would get a field goal to make it 21-17, but after that, the Chiefs' defense was really good and returned to normal. A punt and a punt and a punt, a turnover on downs, a field goal by the Chiefs. Sunday on 41 Action News, everything was fixed. It was better today, but it will take 3 games for me to believe it's all fixed. The Chiefs play the Packers next week. The Chiefs have the advantage in the tiebreakers, so although the Ravens lead by a half game, that bye that comes in the Ravens season late this week, if the Chiefs would win, they would go back into the number 1 seed. The Packers did beat the Lions last week, so it will take a good Chiefs game. But I do expect the Chiefs to beat the Packers. Since Jordan Love contract runs out this year, he's going to have to show that the Packers that he will be okay for next season, as they will have to decide on his contract if they want to sign a deal. We'll talk about this more as the weeks go on. The Bills led most of the game. That was until the fourth quarter, where the Eagles were down 24-14. They made it 24-21 on a 15-yard pass into the end zone. Devontae Smith, 24-21. Eagles would grab the lead on the next drive after Josh Allen threw an INT. Bills were down 31-34, and an outstanding kick went through by not many feet. From 63, it probably wouldn't have been good. In overtime, hopefully learned that field goals might not be enough. He didn't score a touchdown to get the field goal. Jalen Hurts scored a touchdown to end it on a 12-yard touchdown by the Eagles. That ended the game. Final score was 37-34. The Broncos remained hot as they went easily over the Browns as they blew them out 29-12. No stats to mention except for the Browns turned over the ball 3 times. Rams get past the Cardinals easily, 37-14. Next is the noon o'clock games. Another big story was after the Panthers lost 17-10, The Panthers have parted ways with Frank Reich. He has been fired for his second team in a row, for his second team that he's coached. The Colts were the other team besides the Panthers. They announced that today as Frank Reich was fired this morning. Steelers win and keep it going. The defense continues to be really good. Kenny Pickett needs to get better for them to be true contenders for a Super Bowl. The Steelers, Najee Harris had a good day with 100 yards. The Steelers did get a lot of it from their tight end, Pat Freeman. He had 120 yards. The Steelers were able to stop the run. Joe Mixon had 8 yards. That was it. Backup quarterback actually had an okay day, but he wasn't good enough as he threw an interception, and that helped the Steelers take their first lead 10-7. Bengals never grabbed the lead back. Bengals dropped to 5-6 and are outside the playoff race and now the 11th seed. They'll have to jump 4 spots to get into the playoffs, and it'll be harder as they will have their backup quarterback, Joe Burrow, is out for the season. Falcons and Saints game was close throughout the game, but the Falcons were able to grab a 9-point lead and get 2-possession lead. The Saints got a field goal and then a field goal by the Falcons, but the Saints would fail to make it a 1-possession game on a missed field goal. Falcons would get a field goal at the end after the Saints got a field goal to make it 24-14. Saints lose. Pats lose again. Once again, they drop to a dreadful 2-9. A field goal to take the lead in the fourth quarter. In a low-scoring game, which neither team was able to get much going. Dan Orlovsky says Mac Jones is broken. This is by ESPN. Colts beat the Buccaneers in a good one, 27-20. The Colts led 20-10 at the end of 3. However, the Buccaneers would get a touchdown to make it 20-17. But another touchdown to make it 27-17 with 4:10, a field goal to make it 27-20. A punt by the Colts, but a critical turnover on just 3 plays. On the third play, the fumble came. Indianapolis would win 27-20 after the fumble was a pivotal play to possibly lose them the game. Final game was the Texans and Jags. They would miss a field goal. They would have tied the game and hit the crossbar. Lawrence goes over 360 and just 1 touchdown, while rookie C.J. Stroud in the loss goes for 304. Final was 24-21. Carson Santos would get another field goal to make it 9-3. The Vikings would get their final touchdown. The Vikings would get a touchdown with 4:54 to go. DJ Hawkinson touchdown extra point was good. The Bears would fumble with 3:36 to go. After a 3 and out, the Justin Fields would fumble and the Vikings would get the ball back. But then a punt, which kept the Vikings up 11-10, but then a punt by the Vikings and a field goal at the gun to make it 30-yard field goal to win the game, 12-10. Bears win. Bears are at 4-8. Vikings lessen their playoff chances with a 6-6 record. That's Sam Vaughn Sports.